Once you're ready, we'll start today's class in our child's pose. So big toes together, knees apart wide for now, sitting the hips all the way back onto the heels, stretching your arms away from you. And just taking a couple deep breaths here, checking in with your body, seeing how it feels before you get moving. And start to connect your Ujjayi breath, breathing in and out through your nose, slightly constricting the back of your throat so you can hear the sound of your breath. And work on making those inhales and exhales a little bit longer so you can use it throughout the practice. Walk your hands to the right side of the mat, placing the left hand on top of the right. And then walk it to the left side, right hand goes on top of the left. Then bring it to center, finding a tabletop position. Hands right under the shoulders, knees under the hips. Inhale, drop your belly, arch your back, and gaze up for cow pose. Then as you exhale, tuck your chin in, round your back for cat. Inhale as you arch, creating some movement in the spine. Exhale as you round. One more time. Inhale to arch. Exhale to round. And then after your last one, you find a neutral spine in the middle. Thread the needle, take the right arm, lift it up, and thread it through. Put your head down, walk that left hand straight forward. Maybe crawl it a little bit over to that right side. And back to a tabletop, reset. And then we switch sides, taking the left arm and peeling it up and threading it through. Walking the right hand forward and over to the left. Back up again to tabletop. Now extending from tabletop position, opposite arm and leg. So right arm straight forward, left leg back. Exhale, pull it in, knee to elbow. Then inhale to extend and reach it out. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, extend. One more time, knee to elbow. And then extend and hold it, or bend the leg, grab the foot, and try to kick it back for a little back bend. Then extend it back out, place it down, and switch sides. Left arm, right leg. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, extend. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale to extend. One more time, crunch it in, knee to elbow. And then extend it and hold it, or reach around, try to grab your foot and kick it back. Extend it out long, place it down, and then we'll move into our first downward facing dog. Plant your hands shoulder width, tuck your toes, and lift your hips up. First down dog, walking it out a little bit, bending one leg at a time, stretching the backs of the legs. Maybe doing the same thing with the arms, moving around a little bit, anything that feels good. We work on pressing those shoulders away from the ears, starting to push your chest towards your thighs, and bring the heels closer to the ground. Inhale, glide forward just to a high plank on your hands and toes. And then as you exhale, you lift your hips and push back, down dog. Inhale forward to plank position. Exhale, down dog. One more time. Inhale forward, high plank. Exhale, down dog. Walk your feet to the front, ragdoll. Feet stay hips width. Bend your knees and grab opposite elbows. And just let yourself hang. Maybe shake your head, yes, no, relaxing the neck. You can sway a little bit, side to side, or forward and back, anything that feels good to you. Release your hands to the ground and then just slowly roll yourself up to stand. Once you get all the way up to the top, lift your arms up. Take your right hand, grab your left wrist and pull it to the right for a standing side body stretch. And then we switch, your left hand grabs your right wrist and pull it over to the left. Good, back to center. Try to interlace the fingers behind your back or hold onto a strap. Inhale, look up, open your chest and your shoulders. Exhale, fold forward, slight bend to the knees, keeping the hands interlaced. Releasing the hands, inhale to a flat back, and then cross your feet. Take your right foot behind the left foot and fold straight forward over the legs. Working on straightening the legs, but again, we're still warming up, so you can keep a bend to those knees if your hamstrings need that. If you want to walk it to the side, walk your hands to the left side of your mat. Then walk it to center, switch your feet. So now the right foot is crossed in front, folding over your legs. Again, bent or straight legs, or maybe walking your hands now to the right side of the mat. Good, back to center, uncross the feet and bring them together. Inhale, lengthen your spine to a flat back. Fingertips can be on the shins or on the floor. And as you exhale, step back to plank. And our first chaturanga will modify together. So from your plank, dropping the knees down, hugging your elbows in close and lowering to the ground. Untucking the toes. Inhale for cobra pose, just a small back bend. Good, exhale back down. Then push back up to your knees to that modified plank first. Then retuck your toes and meet back in your down dog. Look forward, you can step or hop both feet up to meet your hands, bringing the feet together. Inhale, lengthen to a flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Now we use that flat back. Inhale, reverse swan dive all the way up to stand. And see if you can press your palms together overhead and just gaze up slightly. Then with a flat back, you exhale and swan dive right back down. Inhale to lengthen. And as you exhale, step back to plank. This time your choice to stay whether on your toes or drop back down to your knees for chaturanga. Hug your elbows in, go halfway down. Flipping over the feet, inhale maybe for up dog or staying with your cobra. Exhale back, downward facing dog. One more time like that, look forward, hop or step to the front. Feet together, inhale to lengthen. Exhale to fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive all the way up. Again, gazing up as those palms touch overhead. And exhale, swan dive right back down. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, you can hop or step, chaturanga, any variation that works for you. Lowering halfway. Inhaling to your back bend for up dog or cobra. Exhaling, downward facing dog. And take a deep breath. Start to check in each time you come to down dog, right? See if maybe those heels get a little closer to the ground. Lift your right leg up. You can let that hip open up, bend the leg. Maybe draw a couple circles with the ankle or the whole leg. Just kind of open up that hip. And step your right foot between your hands for a low lunge. Drop your back knee down. Start with your hands up here on the right thigh, sinking down into that left hip flexor. From here, if you want to add a little back bend, lift the arms up and the gaze up. Hands could stay apart, or you could try pressing them together. And then lower your hands back down to the floor or blocks. Half split, straightening the right leg, flexing that foot. Not sitting all the way back, right? Keeping that hip over the knee, and then folding over your right leg. And just noticing how your hamstring feels, right? Still the beginning, we're still loosening it up. We're going to come back to the full splits later in class. So just starting here with that half split. And let's rebend that leg and put your hands back down so you can step back to chaturanga. Low push up, hugging those elbows in. Inhaling as you flip over the feet for up dog or cobra. Exhaling, downward facing dog. And then switching sides, lifting that left leg up, open the hip, bend the leg. Again, maybe draw some circles with the ankle or the whole leg. Anything that feels good is getting a nice stretch. And then we take a big step forward, low lunge. Dropping the back knee down, left knee over the ankle, hands up to the thigh. You're starting to sink into that right hip flexor, the front of that hip. If you want to add that little back bend, make sure your legs don't change. Just lift the arms up and the gaze up, maybe palms together, but you're still sinking into that lunge. And then lower your hands down for your half splits. Straightening the front leg, flexing that left foot, and bowing over that left leg. Stretching into that left hamstring. Well, let's rebend that leg, bring your hands to the floor, and again, step back, chaturanga, low push-up. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, meeting in down dog. Now this time from down dog, as you lift your right leg up, keep the leg straight and the hips square. Now use your core. Exhale, bring your knee and try to touch your nose as you shift forward into a plank position. And then inhale, lift it back up, three-legged dog. 2 more times. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, three-legged dog. 1 more time. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, back up, three-legged dog. And now use that same motion to help you step your right foot forward. Crescent lunge. So now we're all the way up on the ball of that back foot. Anjaneyasana, high crescent lunge. Right, that back heel is lifted, hips are square, deep bend into that front leg. Open to warrior 2, pivoting the back heel down, arms out like a T. Virabhadrasana B. Still have a deep bend in that front leg, but your hips are open to the side wall. Look at your right hand, flip that palm up. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, windmill the hands down, but don't go to chaturanga, just step to plank. Front air plank, side plank, Vashisthasana, left hand stays down, stack your feet and reach the right arm up. If you need to modify, just drop that left knee down and hold here in your side plank for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now both hands go back down. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, down dog. Lift your left leg up to three-legged dog with that straight leg and your square hip. Then as you exhale, curl it in, knee to nose, shifting forward. Inhale, back up, three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, three-legged dog. 1 more time. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, lift the leg high. And then use that knee to nose motion to help you take a big step forward, crescent lunge on the left side. And if that foot doesn't quite make it up there, just adjust so you can make sure you have a nice long stance here in your crescent lunge. If you ever feel like you're on a tightrope, move your back foot a little more to the side to help you balance. Open it up, warrior 2, pivot the back heel down, arms out like a T, nice deep bend in that front leg. Flip your front palm up. Inhale, reverse warrior, reach back. Then as you exhale, windmill the hands down to set up for our side plank. So step to plank first, then keep your right hand down, left arm up. Vashisthasana, side plank. Either stacking the feet or putting that bottom knee down for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Then both hands come back down. Exhale, low push-up, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Looking forward, either hopping or stepping into your malasana, prayer squat. Turn your toes out, hands to heart center. Try to use those elbows here to open up those hips. Press your chest forward, lengthening your spine. If you like to open the arms, slide your right shoulder inside the right knee. Right hand down and peel the left arm up. And then you bring it to center. If you open the arms, you switch sides. Left hand down, right arm up. Good, back to center. Now bring your feet in about hips width. Toe heel them in, hips width distance, Padangustasana. Peace fingers hook onto your big toes. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale to fold. So getting a deeper stretch into the backs of those legs. Relax your neck and let your elbows go to the side. If you want to stay here, you can stay here. If you want to practice your crow pose today, Bakasana, then plant your hands shoulder width. Walk your feet back a little bit, right? Bend your arms to make a little shelf. Put your knees up high on that shelf, right on the backs of the arms. Keep looking forward, stick out your chin and start to lean forward. As you shift your shoulders more forward in front of your fingertips, your feet will get lighter. Maybe one or both feet lift off the ground. You're pushing the floor away, rounding the back, pulling the abs in, right? Strong core as well as the arms. But the key is that leaning your whole body forward. Good, make your way back to a child's pose at the back of your mat. You can bring your knees together this time, forehead down, arms alongside you, and just let your shoulders relax. Take a couple deep breaths to reset here. And when you're ready, meeting back in your downward facing dog. Lift the right leg up, step it forward, right back to our crescent lunge on the right side, lifting the arms up. Good, this time we're gonna take it into airplane. So start to lean forward, sweep the arms back, palms face down, Degasana. Flex that flying foot and square off the hips here. Standing splits, hands come down to the floor or the blocks. Your nose starts to get closer to that right leg as that left leg lifts higher without opening the hip, right? You take these toes and you point them down. You pull that hip in. Maybe the right hand grabs the back of that right ankle to help you get a little deeper into that stretch. Now let's carefully lower the leg just a little bit, come back up to your fingertips and try to come back to airplane. Put a soft bend in the right knee, the standing leg, sweep your arms back to airplane, and then take a big step back, crescent lunge. And then just kind of adjust, right, if you need to find that nice crescent lunge position. Open to warrior two, pivoting the back heel down, heel to arch alignment. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale into modified or extended side angle. Right elbow to the thigh or right hand to the floor block. Maybe that left arm reaches forward if that's okay on your shoulder. And you're trying to look under that armpit to the ceiling to help you rotate open. Lift back up to warrior two. Inhale as you reverse. Exhale, windmill the hands down. This time just straight back, chaturanga, low push up. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Lift the left leg up, step it forward, crescent lunge. Set your gaze, your eyes on the floor. Start to lean forward and sweep your arms back for airplane. Floating that right leg up, flexing the foot, palms facing down in airplane. Good, standing splits, hands come down, and now that leg goes up higher as your nose gets closer to the left leg. Hands can be on the blocks, on the floor, or maybe just the left hand goes behind that left ankle to pull your nose closer to the left leg and still lift that right leg up high without opening the right hip. Now, if it is up pretty high, lower it back down a little bit. Walk your hands forward, come up to your fingertips, bend your knee a little bit. That will help, and come back to airplane just for one breath. Then you take a big step back, crescent lunge. And sometimes kind of have to adjust, right, till you find that good position for your crescent lunge. And open warrior two, Virabhadrasana B. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, modified or extended side angle. You choose, right? Left elbow to the thigh or left hand to the floor block. Right arm could be up to the ceiling, or you can reach it over your ear towards the front. Lift yourself back up to your regular warrior two. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, windmill the hands down. Chaturanga, low push up. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Lift your right leg up, but this time step it outside your right hand for lizard. Dropping the back knee down. Untuck the toes, right toes point forward, your foot's at the edge of the mat, and then hands or elbows or blocks come down on the inside of that right foot to stretch into that outer hip. Now you can stay here if you prefer this stretch and you want to stay here, or you can come up to the hands and we'll do the second variation where we stretch the quad. So you turn your right foot out 45 degrees, put your left hand down and twist the right arm back. And you might just hold there and still sink those hips down, or you can bend the back leg, grab that foot, pull it in towards you. Let go and just step straight back to down dog. No chaturanga. Reset there and down dog. Other side, lift the left leg up, step it forward, outside that left hand, back knee down. Everyone's starting with the regular lizard first with the toes pointing forward, hands, elbows, or blocks trying to come down as low as you can on the inside of that left foot. Now, again, you can stay here if you prefer, or come up to your hands. Turning the left foot out now, 45 degrees. Right hand down and twisting the left arm back, maybe holding there, or maybe grabbing that back foot and pulling it towards you for that quad stretch. Good, let go. Let's step back to down dog. Lift your right leg up, step it forward again to crescent lunge. Just take a breath there. And then we're going to open it right up to our warrior two. Inhale as you reverse your warrior. Exhale into half moon, Ardha Chandrasana. Walk your right hand forward about 6 to 8 inches in front of that baby toe. Flex that left foot and try to keep the hip open. Right, so feeling the difference between half moon and standing splits. Half moon, the hip is open, the chest is open, but your leg is aiming for parallel to the floor. Whereas in standing splits, the hip was squared, but we were trying to lift the leg as high as we can. Find your balance here, really active through that flying foot, make sure it's flexed. Step back to warrior two, reset your feet. Straighten your right leg for triangle. Walk your left foot in just 1 or 2 inches. Shift your hips back, reach forward, right hand on the shin, ankle, or foot, left arm straight up to the ceiling for Trikonasana, creating length through both sides of your waist here. Lift yourself all the way back up and come back to warrior two. Walk that foot out, rebend your front leg. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, windmill the hands down. Chaturanga, low push up. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Lift the left leg up. Last time, let's step it forward to crescent lunge on this side. Nice, open to warrior two. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, half moon, Ardha Chandrasana. Left fingertips 6 to 8 inches in front of that left baby toe. Probably on a block if you have it, right? Flexing that right foot, open up the hip, focusing your eyes on one point to help you with that balance. Carefully step back, warrior two. Straighten out your front leg for triangle and shorten your stance just a little bit, right? Back foot comes in 1 or 2 inches. Shift the hips back first, and then really reach forward till you can't reach any further, and place the left hand on the leg or the foot and the right arm directly up to the ceiling. Lift yourself all the way back up. Adjust to come back to one more warrior two. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, windmill the hands down. Chaturanga, low push up. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Step or hop to the front of your mat and just roll yourself up nice and slow, one vertebra at a time. Turn to face one of the long edges of your mat. Open up your feet like 4 or 5 feet apart, but parallel. Interlace your fingers together behind your back or hold onto a strap here. Inhale, look up, open up your chest a little bit, and then exhale, fold forward, keeping the hands interlaced. Drop your head, relax your neck. Straddle, forward fold, so you're getting that stretch in the backs of the legs, but you're also getting that stretch into your shoulders and your chest here. Release just the hands, keep the legs, walk your hands through the middle now and fold deeper. Now take both hands, walk them to the left leg, grab onto your ankle or calf and pull your nose over to that left leg. And then take it the other way, walk it to the right leg, pull your nose over to the right leg. Now bring it back to the middle. And today we're going to work on all different splits. So we're going to do the standing straddle splits. Even if you normally do frog, for today, try straddle splits. So just make sure you're in the middle of your mat and start to toe heel your feet apart, as wide as they'll go, okay? You can stay up on the hands, or if you get close enough, you drop down to the elbows. But for this standing version of straddle splits, your feet should still be flat on the floor, right? Most of us are not gonna get our hips down because we're not doing the seated version yet, right? You might get close to the floor, but my toes, see, they don't come up like that, they stay down. So once you feel like you've wiggled those feet as far as they'll go, just hold, whether you're on the hands, the elbows, blocks. It should be a pretty deep stretch in the inner thighs. I feel like the standing version is actually a deeper stretch than the seated because you can't compensate with your hamstrings right now. It's all about those inner thighs. So last couple breaths here. Now, if you are on the elbows, push yourself back up to your hands and then nice and slow, toe heel your feet back in. Just wiggle them back into about where you started, about 4 or 5 feet apart. Bend one knee at a time now. You can kind of shake it out, move your hips side to side. And then we'll find a flat back, put a soft bend to both knees, hands to hips, slowly come up. Step to the front. I'm just gonna back up so you can see me better. Standing number 4, hands to prayer position. Right foot goes across, flexing the foot, making that figure 4 shape with your legs. Bend your left leg, sit your hips back. You can either keep your hands in prayer and just work on sitting here, right? Bending that standing leg, focusing the eyes. Or you can try to get your fingertips or your hands to the floor, but by bending the leg, right? Because the deeper you bend the left leg, the more of a stretch you're going to feel on your right hip. It's a balancing pose and a hip opener. Then come up, you shake it out and switch legs. Hands to prayer position, left foot across, flex that foot, bend your right standing leg and start to sit back. Elbows or forearms on the shin, or maybe fingertips or hands down to the floor. Come back up, shake it out. We'll meet at the top of our mat. Tadasana, mountain pose, feet together, hands to heart center. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, swan dive down. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, step or hop, chaturanga, low push up. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Lift your right leg up, step it forward to your low lunge like we did way back at the beginning. So we're gonna come into our full splits, Hanumanasana. We did the half splits earlier, right? You can start there if you want, straightening the front leg. You can put blocks under your hands, right? If your hands don't reach the floor, or as you start to slide forward, if you have a little space between the hamstring and the floor, sometimes it helps to wedge a block under there as well, right? You just go as far as you can, but don't force it. Okay, once you feel like that's it, you just hold it there, right? And you use those arms to help hold you up. The key thing is not to lean to the side and open your hips because you lose the stretch, right? You're not getting as much out of it. So you want to square your hips. You want to think your hips are like headlights on a car pointing straight forward, even if that means you don't go all the way to the ground. If you were to look back, right, your shoelaces, your imaginary shoelaces, or the top of your foot is on the ground, right? That's how you know. If it's pointed to the side, you could see it. You're leaning too much to the side. If you keep it flat, you know you're square. And then you can be upright. Sometimes eventually people can lift the arms up, or you can also fold. So even if your hands, or you're not all the way on the floor, but you want to fold, you can. It's up to you. You can kind of play with both and see what gives you more of a stretch, whether being upright, folding, whether a little bit of both. I find if you're folding, you tend to feel more in the front leg. When you're more upright, you might feel it more in that hip flexor of the back leg, because if that's tight, it can also limit you. But you'll always feel it in the hamstring, right? The hamstring is one of the major areas that we're stretching in the splits. Now we're going to go to the other side. So you just plant your hands on the floor block, tuck your back toe, carefully take your time, lift that knee, slide your right leg back, open your hip and bend your leg, three-legged dog. Shake it out, right? Draw some circles, move it around, anything that feels good. And then we'll reset back in our regular down dog. And we'll switch sides, lifting the left leg up, stepping it forward to your low lunge. And taking it a little bit at a time, straightening that leg, starting to wiggle it forward, maybe blocks under your hands or under the hamstring, right? One side might be different, so we don't want to force it to be the same. We want to do our best to even it out, but again, it's going to vary. Making sure hip bones straight forward, not leaning to the side, right? Again, if you glance back, the top of your foot and your kneecap should be on the floor. And again, you can play with, holding it more upright, a little bit more of a back bend with the chest up, or you can try folding over the front leg. And again, you can try both, whatever feels best. Taking a few more breaths here on this side. Now, when you're ready to come out, same way, plant your hands, tuck your back toe, lift your knee, carefully slide that left leg back all the way to three-legged dog. Open the hip and the leg, move it around, shake it out. And then we'll meet in one more down dog. And your hamstring should feel very different, right, in this last down dog compared to the first down dog. So see if those heels are closer to the ground. Maybe you can push your chest back a little more. Then step to the front, have a seat. So the last version of the splits is the seated straddle splits, right, where your legs are out wide. We did the standing version. The seated version, lift your hips up and really wiggle those legs apart, flex the feet. And they may not go as wide as you think, that's okay, as long as they're out as wide as they'll go. But we'll start with the side stretch. So your right hand either grabs the right leg or foot, and then reach your left arm over your ear, look under that armpit to the ceiling. And take it all the way up and over to the other side. Okay, now as you come up, keep your feet flexed and don't let the toes roll in. Keep the toes going straight up to the ceiling and then walk your hands forward. So as you start to fold, you're going to definitely feel in the inner thighs, but you might also feel it in the hamstrings or the lower back. That's normal too. You just fold as far as you can, keeping those feet flexed with the toes going up. Now I want you to stay low, but walk your hands over to the right leg. Just crawl over there, and now we're folding over the leg, bringing your nose towards your knee. Good, now walk through the middle, all the way over to the other leg, and fold over your left leg. Bring your nose towards that knee or shin. Now bring it back to the middle and see if you can go a little bit deeper. Last couple breaths, maybe inch those hands out a little further. But start to slowly walk the hands back in. Take your time because we were there for a while. Kind of shake out the legs, guide them back together a little bit. Good. Seated forward fold, Paschimottanasana. Feet together, flex, sitting up tall. Lift those arms up and then fold over your legs, grabbing your legs, your feet, or maybe using a strap there around the feet if you have that handy, and folding. Slowly come up and roll yourself down onto your backs. Hug your knees in, give it a gentle rock side to side. Maybe draw a couple small circles on your lower back, moving the knees in both directions. Now extend the left leg on the floor and let it relax, but straighten your right leg up to the ceiling. And take both hands either on the hamstring, calf, ankle, or if you have a yoga strap, you can put it around the foot and pull it towards you. So even though we already did the splits, let's just do one more stretch here for that hamstring. You know, each time you practice any of these poses, it's going to help create a little more space there in those muscles and open them up. Now with your right hand, if you can reach, you hook your peace fingers on your big toe. If you can't reach, you just grab the leg, or again, if you have that strap, your strap. Left hand goes on the left hip, open your right leg to the right without letting your left hip come off the ground. So it just should dangle kind of to the right side. Now, as you bring it through center, same leg, but switch hands. Left hand, either on the strap, the leg, or the outer edge of the foot. Right arm out like a T. Keep your right leg straight with that foot flexed and twist it across your body like a straight leg spinal twist. But you might have to only go part way, right? If it's pretty deep or intense on that outer thigh IT band, you can pause there. If it feels okay to take it to the floor, you take it all the way to the floor. And maybe turn your gaze and look to the right hand. Now slowly come back to center and hug both knees into your chest. Let's neutralize the spine before we do those 3 stretches on the other side. Now extend the right leg long and just let it completely relax on the floor. Straighten the left leg. Either put the strap around the foot or both hands on the hamstring, calf, or ankle. But you want to make sure you keep the leg straight and the foot flexed. So if that means you need to grab lower, then grab lower, because if you bend the leg, you lose some of that stretch. So keep it straight as you pull it in. Now with your left hand, again, maybe peace fingers on the big toe, or just hold on to the leg or the strap. Right hand glues the right hip down. and you open your left leg to the left side. Bring it through center, switch hands, right hand on the strap, the outer edge of the foot or the leg. Left arm out like a T. Flex that left foot, keep the leg straight and slowly inch it across, right? So that way maybe you can stop part way if that feels good, maybe 3/4 of the way, or maybe you bring that foot all the way to the floor and maybe turn the gaze towards that left hand. So it's basically a straight leg version of your spinal twist. So you get a deeper stretch into that hip and outer thigh IT band area as you twist. Bring it back to center and let's hug both knees in one more time. Wrap both arms all the way around the shins. Pull your forehead up to your knees and curl yourself up into a tight little ball. Just give yourself a big hug and then you let everything go. Coming into Shavasana, our final relaxation. Extending the legs long, letting the feet fall open wide. Arms relax alongside you with the palms facing up. Take the shoulders, try to shrug them down away from the ears to help keep your neck long. And as you close your eyes, clear away any last remaining thoughts. Take a nice deep inhale through your nose. Exhale all the air out the mouth, letting it go and letting your muscles relax even deeper into the floor. Slowly begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Start to bring some small movements back into your body. Maybe draw a couple circles with the wrists and ankles, moving them in both directions. Maybe gently moving your head a little bit side to side. Anything that feels good to you. And when you feel ready, reach your arms overhead or reach the legs long. Create that nice full body stretch, getting as tall as you can. With eyes closed, hug your knees back into your chest and roll over to one side, coming into a fetal position. Then use your hands to help press you up to seated. Crossing the legs, sitting up tall, Hands come together at heart center, Anjali Mudra. And just take a couple last deep breaths here, scanning your body, noticing how it feels after your yoga practice this morning. Let's take one more nice deep inhale through your nose. Exhale all the air out the mouth, letting it go. Lift your hands to your forehead, your third eye center, and bowing forward. Namaste.